Hello, I think we are online now. Okay, I can see all the green lights. I guess you can hear me loud and clear. Okay. All right, let's start with this today's session. Okay. Today we are going to discuss on uh, Keynote legend in Revit. Okay. What is Keynote legend? So that's an important question to ask. Okay. So the first thing is you need to understand how to present a drawing. So once you know how to present a drawing, then you know how to tag and how to make it in a table. If we don't have any table options in Revit, then how to prepare a legend. Okay, so tables we can create with a schedule, but legend is a 2D sheet. You can add details. Okay, and Keynote legend is different from normal legend. I'm going to show you how it works today. Okay, let us understand what is legend. Okay, so you can find legend under view. If you go here, create legend, and this is legend. So in legend you can create details, and you can write a text. You can write a text to define the detail, okay. There is a difference between drafting view and legend. Drafting view also a 2D sheet that works with the scale, but you can use drafting view once in a project. Okay, if you use legend, so that's also a 2D sheet. Okay, that works with the scale. You can add all the 2D detail item, and you can use legend in multiple sheet. Okay, but still we prefer drafting view for making any detail, because in drafting view you can add sections and call out, but in legend you can't add view reference. Okay, you have to do it manually. That's not so good. If you're using it for the multiple sheet, then you'll get confused. Okay, legends are created to define the tags. Okay, so legend, let us understand what is legend. Okay, so before I start, I'm going to just give you an idea how to prepare a sheet so that you will understand better. Okay, okay, so here I have an example project open, and if you see here, we have our model, and we have added tags. What this tag says, 129. That tag means for something, right? So that tag connected with the door, and that is reading a value 129. Let's select the door, and here you can see mark 129. If you want to add more detail about door, you can take mark value and you can show more detail about the door. Let's say if you want to show instant parameters, then you can take 129. We have frame material wood, and frame type, frame material, and frame type. Okay, let me show you how this works. Let's go to schedule and quantity, and then go for door. Okay, so door building component, I'm going to say okay. Let's take mark because we are going to refer 129, and then frame type. A frame type is not schedulable. Frame material we have, oh yeah, frame type and frame material. Okay, and if I say okay, so I have all the marks, and I have the frame material. Let us just sort this with the frame material or frame type. We should have a typical value, then only we can do that. Okay, right, I think this will work. Okay, let's try. Go to filter, oops, sorting and grouping by frame type. Okay, if I say okay, I have the first row as empty. That means they are not same. If it is not same, that's not going to read any value. Okay, so we can't go for sorting, so we are not sorting anything. Okay, so this is the schedule. If I drag that schedule, if I, okay, let's door schedule. So we have the door schedule. Okay, right click, deactivate view, door schedule. I have the door schedule now. Let's break it. And here now I can read more information about the door. I am searching for 129. I'm searching for 129. Frame type is 3 and frame material is wood. So that's how we are reading more information from the model and we are presenting in a drawing. Okay, so this information coming from door instance property. You can also do schedule of type properties. Okay, now let's see. So now you know what is a schedule. So this is what the schedule, and this can help you to add more information to the drawing. Now let's see what is a legend. Okay, let's take legend. Take legend. Okay, you can give any name. Let's keep any scale. That's fine. I'm just going with the unit length. Let's keep it as millimeter because I am comfortable with millimeters. Okay, so now I can read the scale in 1:50 or 25. That's fine. Now if I go to annotate, I can add a detail component. Okay, legend component, and I can select door. I can select door type. Okay, I can place multiple times, and I can change the door. Okay, so let's say we have different door type. Okay, now I can add text to say door 1. Or I can say single flush vision. Double glass. Single flush. Okay, let's keep this as 1:100. Okay, so I think this will look fine. If you want, you can add a hyphen, or you can add a table. Like, let's go to detail line, draw a rectangle. Oops, select thin line. Okay, copy. Door legend. Oops. Okay, now this is called a door legend. I can change this to front elevation or back elevation. Let's show it in a plan. Okay, right click, and you can show more detail also. Okay, so now see, let's go to legend and legend 1. That's what we have just created. I don't want to show any title. Let's change the viewport without title. Oh, okay. So now we have created a legend. So that legend is showing a symbol of an element, and that you can read in the drawing. Okay, symbol of an element in the drawing, and we are going to write what it is, and we can write more detail. We can add size also. So that's how we add a legend. Okay. Okay, so this is about legend. You know what is a schedule can do and what a legend can do. Now I'm going to show you what a keynote legend can do for you. Okay, these things are reading from BIM software, right? But in case if you want to give somebody else to write detail for your door element, and if you want them to keep the text file, then so that will be amazing, right? They don't have to depend on a draftsman to write details. Okay, so in case if you want to write project specific detail or company wide details, then you can use Keynote legend. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, let's go to sections, and here you can see there are some numbers are written here, but there is no description about the number. Okay, so some numbers are written. I guess Keynote legend is not populated. Let me show you how that looks. Okay, let's go to view legend and take Keynote legend, and you can give any name. Okay, this is also like a schedule. You have to add the number of parameters, and mostly it is just a 2. You cannot create a new parameter. Usually it is key value and keynote text. I'm going to say okay. So here I can read some of the value. That means they have used around 6 keynote in the project. Let us close this one. Now I can find the same keynote under legends. We know it's a keynote legend. It's not just a legend, it is a keynote legend. Okay, so I'm going to drag and I'm placing it here. So now you can see we have the number, and that's marked on a drafting view. This is a drafting view. Okay, you can use the same in a plan section or elevation. So what we are trying to do is we are going to connect a table with the note, so that you don't have to write a long text description in a detail view. Okay, so to keep it simple, we are doing this way. Okay, so now you know how to present a keynote. There is a keynote legend. It's a table that will have only 2 columns. Okay, one for key value and keynote text, and how to add those values. For example, once I delete, you can see the keynote also getting deleted. Okay, this one is here. How to add a note to an element. This is a detail element. Okay, so detail element works with the scale, so that's why they have used a detail element. It's a 2D, this is not 3D. Keynote works with 2D and 3D. Okay, Keynote is a type property. If you select any element, if you go to edit type, and here you can find Keynote. So whatever you are writing here, so that's going to come in the schedule. But here you can't just write, you have to select from a table. You have to select from a table. This table uh, is referred from an external text document. So I will show you how to create that document. Okay, let's just close it. We can't edit it here, but we can edit it in a text document. If you want to edit it in an Excel, you can edit and then you can save it back to a text document, then you can use. Okay, so okay, let me tell you how it works. Close. Okay, so once you have the text node, you can go to annotate, and here you can find element keynote. So if you're selecting an element, you can select this option. If you are reading from a material, then you can select the second option. If you want to define your own, then you can use user keynote and keynote settings. Now let's see that later. Okay, so I'm going to use keynote element keynote, select, and I'm going to select any one object. Okay, I can read the note number, select, and place. And you can see once I add the keynote number, the table is getting populated with the value. There's a keynote and keynote text, right? Let's add one more. I'm giving create similar, select the next one, and you can see if I do select create similar and select any item. So this is how you can add keynote. You can go to annotate and then here keynote and select any one of this option and then add. If you're selecting user specific, that's going to open the table. Okay, let's do that. User specific, and I'm going to select an element, place it, and that's going to ask you to choose from the list. You can select any value, and if you say okay, so that's going to be generated with the number, and that's going to get added in the table. Okay, so now you know how to populate this table. It's easy. Go to view, legend, keynote legend, and you know how to add these numbers. That's easy. You can go to annotate, go to keynote, and select any one of these option, then select the element and place. Okay, now you need to know how this works. So as I have told you earlier, so this table is generated from a text file. Okay, so to access the text file location, you can go to keynote and select keynoting settings. So this is showing keynote not at library location. That's okay. And here in the window, you can see, okay, you can see the file location. I'm just copy the location, and so here you can see file path option. We have three options. If you are keeping it at library location, you can do that. If you want to make it as a relative path, you can do that, or absolute, you can select. What is relative and what is absolute? So that you might have to understand. What is relative? Revit will look for the name of the file, but not for the file path. If you want to keep it that way, you have to choose relative. In case of searching for the right name at the right location, then you have to choose absolute. Okay, so for now I'm keeping it as relative, and we have a method called numbering method by keynote. Okay, so that's reading from the key value, and we are giving a table to define what it is. Okay, to define the element, we are adding the value here and we are giving the definition in the table. Okay, so this is about numbering method. Now I'm going to show you the text file, how that looks. Let's go to Explorer, copy paste the path. Oops, okay. Let's just open till here, right click. Okay, open. So here, oh, the file should be here. I can't find. It will be Revit Keynote 2004. Otherwise I should search. Okay, let's just browse. It's not there. Okay, so as I have given relative, the file is somewhere else, but it's still readable. Okay, let's search for the file. It's 2004.txt. No match found. Let's go to PC, Ctrl V, search. Working on it. Understanding the concept is very important. Okay, you can use a schedule to define value in the drawing, or you can use a schedule, so that I have told you earlier. Okay, or you can use a legend to add definition. You can use Keynote to add a definition. That's another way. Okay, so you can choose from any one, but you think which one can suit you better, because managing the information is very important. Doing it is one time, but managing the information is critical, right? Managing the information is critical. You might have thousands of definition you have to edit. So that time you should not take more time. Okay. Oh, still searching. Let me show you the same file in Revit 2020. Okay, so here I have a project. Okay, so that's a small project. Don't worry about these things. Let's go to annotate, keynote settings. Okay, here I have a path. Okay, let me open this here. Okay, let's open one more file explorer, copy paste, and India. Oh, and yes, here you can see Revit Keynote metric. If I open this file, you can read what's there here. Okay, so what do we have here? There is some value, and there is a tab value. If there's a gap, and there is some definition. So that's how this file is created. You can create your own file. Okay, so this is how the data looks inside a text document. Okay, now you understood This value is reading from a text document. Okay, so let's create our own uh, legend. Okay, uh, let's create our own keynote legend. So I'm just going to right click and say new and take text document. Let's name it as keynote test. Okay, let's open it up. It's an empty text document. Let's add a value. Let's say 01. I'm giving tab and write 02 tab test 02, enter 03 tab test 03. Okay, so this is my data. Okay, now save it. I'm going to Revit. Okay, let's go to Revit 2023. So here I'm going to use that keynote. So once I change the keynote file, I guess the values will get vanished. Okay, let's try. I'm going to keynote settings. Okay, and I'm going to browse. Let's go to desktop, select keynote test and say open. That should open. Keynote table reloaded successfully. Okay, and I'm going to say okay. So now you can see there are some values defined, but the keynote text is missing because we have changed the file. Let's remove that. We don't need them because we have changed the keynote text file, right? Let's go to annotate and I'm going to say keynote. So now the value what is there here is different, right? The value I have to change. Let's go to edit type and keynote. Okay, so let's select this one. Let's go to edit type and keynote. Oh, this is keynote. If I go to browse, now the table is changed. So I have to choose a new number. Let's say okay, and this is changed. Let's add 2 3. Take this one. Okay, select and go to edit type, keynote 2. Okay, you can define your own. Okay, let's go to edit type. This is done. Create similar, select, go to edit type and then change it to 3. Okay, so we have the number. Go to right click, deactivate view. Now I'm going to add the keynote legend. Let's go to view, legend, keynote legend. Any name you can give. Let's say okay. So this is the table. I have to browse from the schedule and place it here. Okay, so this is about adding keynote. So now you know how to create keynote text file and how to add it in the element type property and how to create keynote legend. Okay, so now the next step. For example, I have hundreds of drawings. Okay, I want to show the same typical detail, but I don't want to show all 3 keynotes in every sheet. Okay, so I may show 2 notes in one sheet, another 2 notes in another sheet. Okay, so that time I have to get the keynote based on the sheet, not based on the um, keynote value what is defined in the project. Okay, let me show you again. Okay, for example, okay, let's just close this here. I'm going to show you clearly. Okay, this is a next level. Okay, let's go to section. If you want to have some coffee, just have some coffee, then come back. Okay, I think we are taking more time now. It's more than half an hour. Now you can take half an hour, pause this video, then come back, then watch. If you feel drowsy, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Okay, so this is my section. I have my keynotes here. Let's go to view and legend, keynote legend. Okay, okay, and I have my keynote legend here. Okay, let's say I'm going to take a copy of these two. Right click, duplicate view, duplicate with views, duplicate with the detailing, and you can see I have two sheets with the same detail, with the same keynote legend. Okay, now in the first sheet I'm going to remove two values. Okay, if I remove any value, the schedule going to remain the same because this value is used in another view. It's not, this number is not here, but this number is there in some other sheet. Okay, so that time this table is not suitable for this sheet. Okay, let's say I remove everything, even after removing all the keynote tag, the table going to read the same. Okay, there is no point of keeping the table like this, right? So in Revit we have another option to read the keynote legend by sheet. Okay, so now it is now this is reading by element. I'm going to change it to by sheet. How to change? Let's go to annotate and go to keynote and go to keynote settings. This is a message. Okay, now you can see here numbering method by keynote. If I change this to by sheet, let me show you how that works. And you can see 1 2 3 4. I have only 4 tags here, and that is connected with the table, and we are reading it. Okay, the same tag can be numbered in another sheet with a different series. So that's what can happen with the keynote legend. Even now you can see I have only 4 keynotes mentioned in the view, but I have 6 values mentioned in the table. It's not changing. But the only benefit is the view and the okay, am I saying it wrong? I want you to understand. Okay, keynote by sheet, keynote by sheet. Teaching is not that simple, really. Okay, let me just go through once. I will tell you once again. Okay, let's not stop the flow. Okay, let's go to the second sheet. Okay, and here you can see I have 6 tags, and that is reading in the keynote legend. Let's delete all the tag and retag. Okay, I have another 4 keynote, but that's showing here in the table. This is reading from another sheet. This is reading from another sheet. But let me show you how this works. Let's take annotate keynote element. Let's say, so this is 1, 2. So now you can see, let me show you WT. Okay. Let me delete this again. Let's create once again. CS. The number mentioned in this view. So this is showing number 2, but here it is showing number 1. Okay. So that's a difference in the table. Okay. If I add one more, so here it is showing 3, here it is showing 2. Okay, so based on the numbering, it's going to populate a table. Now it is showing as varies and varies. This is a problem we have to solve. Let me show you how to solve. It's a great problem. Okay. Revit having problems. Okay, so let me just change this to keynote text. Let's go here and go to edit type, and here check the keynote. So Revit needs to refresh. Let's close everything. Oh, cancel. Let's go to another sheet, close this view, and then come back here. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. It says varies. Close. I have solved this problem earlier. Let's hope that this is getting solved now also. If I create one more keynote legend, it's not showing the value. This is not showing the value. So let's, oh, it's a problem. See, we find problems when we don't expect. But there is an option. Let me show you one by one. Let's go to edit type. Deactivate view. Delete and delete. Keynote legend. This is showing varies. By sheet, this is supposed to work correctly. Usually it shows empty space, but now it's showing varies. Okay, so Revit is having some problem with the by sheet method. Okay, if you have understood till how to create the sheet, then please continue with that. Okay, I will explain you how to solve this problem when you are using Keynote Legend with by sheet. Okay. that's all for today. I'm very sorry. Okay, so I don't know if I can solve this right away. Okay, let's redo this keynote legend. Okay, I'm just going to try to solve this problem. If we find a method, it's going to be beneficial for you and me. Okay. Okay, so let's try. I'm going to close and reopen. Let's save this project outside. Go to options one. Okay, let's try to solve this problem. Okay. This is not reading correctly. Oh my gosh. Okay. Go to edit time. Why is this changing? Let me delete this. Go to annotate. Okay, let's do one by one. Okay, right click, deactivate view. Let's go to the same legend. This is reading number 1. 2 and 3 having a problem. Okay, I think we have to redefine keynote value. Keynote by sheet has a problem. It's a big problem. Delete. Delete, delete. Let's go to here. It's a big headache. So by legend works well, but by sheet it doesn't work well. Okay, so let me find a solution. Okay, then I will show you how to solve this problem. I think it's better. Okay, let me try again. Let's go to Keynote. It's showing a mark. Okay, let's reload. Cannot open. Okay, is it reloaded? Browse. Okay, so I have the file here. Keynote. Okay. I think it's not reading the file. Control V, open, reloaded. Okay. Oh, it's showing empty. Select, go to select and make it as text. Oh, it is not showing any text. Let's go here. Type. It's a big headache really. You have to refresh the values, so it's better to, okay, so it is showing varies now. Number 2 is varies. Actually this is supposed to populate the number based on the sheet, but it's not happening. Okay, I think okay, why don't I just delete all the keynote in the first sheet and start as fresh? That might solve the problem. Okay, I have the same view in both the sheet. Okay, now this is showing the value. The third one is not showing the value. This is the one. Let's go to edit type, and here you can see actually the keynote value is changed. The value got changed. Edit type, change this to, so now I'm finding the data here. Let's go to sections, add a tag now. Let's start from the bottom, deactivate, and add the legend. Okay, create similar. Let's go for the second one. This is not solving the problem. Keynote legend. If I delete this one, if I keep this one here, that's reading the same. It's not okay. It's a real problem. Okay, let me show you how to solve this. I should read more. Wow, I'm getting headache. Teaching is not easy. Okay, so we have to find more solution to answer. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, I was watching and reading many websites to solve this problem, but when I am doing a project, I'm finding issues, but I'm unable to solve it on live. Okay, so maybe I need some rest. My head is aching already. Okay, I will close it here. Let's see in another video. Okay, if you have another question, please ask me. If you're a member of my channel, you can use live chat. If you're not a member of my channel, please try to